Hello everyone, my name is Ridwan Ahmad Rizkyansyah. On this occasion, me and my supervisor, Dr. Franz Asisi Datang, will presenting our research on podcast discourse structure of mystical experience during KKN. In horror podcast compilation, Do You See What I See? An analysis of superstructure and macrostructure. Our presentation will include the six sections. As a semantic unit, discourse has a varied superstructure, scheme or form, and macrostructure, semantic structure. The development of technology and digital media has an impact on the emergence of new forms of discourse, namely podcast discourse or electronic discourse, stated by Loher in Renkema and Schubert. Indonesia has various compilation of podcasts. One of them is Do You See What I See, which was pioneered by Rizky Adi Nugroho since 2018 on YouTube and Spotify. One of the episodes in the compilation of horror podcast Do You See What I See that attract a lot of attention was KKN Malang from Sasha Napa. This research has formulates two research problems as follows. First, how's the superstructure and macrostructure at Sasha Napa's podcast discourse KKN Malang during the KKN? Second, how's the influence of the superstructure and macrostructure at Sasha Napa's podcast discourse KKN Malang during the KKN to the number of listeners of her podcast? This research used qualitative methods. The theory that we use is narrative superstructure theory proposed by Larson and Walensky and Van Dyck, and relationship between communication units theory proposed by Larson. This research was carried out in several steps, such as 1. Search and sort out the data based on several criteria, namely, told by the mystical experiencer itself, 10 to 20 minutes length, and watched by or heard by many people. Based on that criteria, KKN Malang at Sasha Napa's podcast passed the criteria. The second step is transcribe using orthographic transcribe technique. Third, analyze with the two theories above. And 4. Summarize the result. Next, I will explain about narrative superstructure theory proposed by Labov and Walensky and Van Dyck. They argue that superstructure of narrative discourse includes abstraction, orientation, complication, evaluation, results, and coda. The next one is the conformity of semantic structure and grammatical structure of speech discourse proposed by Larson. He states that if there is no deviation, the speech discourse will consist of 7 semantic or communication units, which correspond to these following grammatical units, such as proposition with clause or simple sentence, propositional cluster with sentence that consists more than one clause, semantic paragraph with paragraph, episode with section, episode cluster with division, part with part, and discourse with text. Each semantic or communication units will form into more complex units, such as proposition to propositional clusters, propositional cluster to semantic paragraph, and so on. Proposition can be interpreted as a semantic unit consisting of the concept of object, events, and attributes with what concept as the core, and the other concept directly relate to the core concept. Propositions are divided into proposition of events and circumstance. To determine the proposition of events, we must look for the concept of events and participant, write proposition with event and participants, and arrange proposition based on chronology. Meanwhile, to determine the proposition of the state, it is necessary to first determine the topic, relation, and its comment. The following is an example of converting sentence into proposition. Proposition 278 is a state proposition that has the role of the time with the topic of waktu and the comment of bangun tidur. The proposition 279 is an event proposition that has the role of the destination of event, namely post-koku. Proposition 280 is an event proposition that has the resultant role tersebut. Proposition in a text have a relationship with other proposition through the relationship between communication units. Larson divides the relationship between communication units into two cores, addition and support. Addition relationship consists of chronological and non-chronological addition relationship. And the chronological addition relationship is divided into simultaneous and sequential. Non-chronological supporting relationship are divided into orientation, explanation, and logical. Orientation is further divided into circumstance head and oriented content. Explanation is divided into restatement and non-restatement explanation. Meanwhile, logical it is further divided into reason result, means result, purpose means, concession contra expectation, grounds conclusion, grounds exhortation, and condition consequence. This is an example about the chronological addition sequential, chronological support progression, and non-chronological support circumstance head. The first one is chronological addition sequential. For example, there's a proposition first Evans cut the grass, next he prepared the roof, and next he painted the wall. The three propositions becomes head each other, and each events are of equal prominence, so each event follows another event at a nearby time, but does not overlap. The second one is chronological support progression. For example, there's a proposition cut the chicken, then add some spice, then boil the chickens 15 minutes. This relationship may be similar to sequential, but the events are supporting to each other events which is more prominent and also can lead up to the final event. So each proposition in this example leads support another proposition and lead to the proposition goal, which is in 4 proposition. And the third one is non-chronological support circumstance head. For example, there's a proposition the sun began to set and they back to their home. The first proposition indicates the time when the head event in the second proposition happened. Besides giving information about the time, the circumstance of this relationship can give information about location or some other circumstance. Based on our research, we find that this podcast discourse produced 284 proposition. This proposition is produced by the methods that we said before. The superstructure of this podcast discourse includes abstraction, orientation, complication, evaluation, results, and coda. Meanwhile, the macrostructure that form each superstructures includes logical relationship, such as result-reason, reason-result, and concession contra expectation, chronological additions sequential, restatement explanation genre-specific, non-restatement explanation head illustration, and orientation relationship, oriented content. Next, I will give some example for the abstraction and coda section of this podcast discourse. The abstraction section is the first part the narrator comes up with. The section includes the narrator's speech to introduce the name, the setting of the place, and the setting of the time of the mystical events that she experienced. This section produces 9 propositions as follows. That nine propositions interconnected each other and form the non-restatement explanation relationship, generic specific. The abstraction part starts with the proposition 1, which is the head, and the propositional cluster 2 to 3, which is formed from the relationship of the oriental proposition 2, content of proposition 3, and also becomes the head. The two heads are then explained by proposition 4, which become the state of the time for the two heads and forms the propositional cluster 1 to 4. The propositional cluster 1 to 4 then become a generic unit for the propositional cluster 5 to 6, which consists of proposition 5 and 6, which are specific units. Proposition 5 and 6 provide a more specific explanation regarding the timing of events experienced by the narrator, namely saat masih kuliah di Universitas Swasta Kota Malang, saat masih semester 7, dan saat KKN di desa Kabupaten Malang. On the other hand, there are propositional cluster 7 to 9 that form a contrast-contrast relationship. The propositional cluster 7 to 9 is formed by the proposition 7, which acts as the contrast, and the propositional cluster 8 to 9, which acts as a contrast. The propositional cluster 8 to 9, which acts as a contrast, is formed by the proposition 8, which acts as the head, and the proposition 9, which acts as the circumstance. Proposition 9 provides an explanation of the time 2 tahun lalu. For proposition 8, which acts as the head, desa belum ramai. The propositional cluster 8 to 9 provide a contrasting explanation to the proposition 7 that the village where the narrator KKN was not crowded 2 years ago. The propositional cluster 7 to 9 that form the contrast-contrast relationship become specific units for the propositional cluster 1 to 6 and form a semantic paragraph for the abstraction section of this podcast discourse. Propositional cluster 7 to 9 provide a more specific explanation of the information contained in propositional cluster 1 to 6, that the story experienced by narrator occurred when she was still studying in a private university in Malang, still in semester 7, and KKN in the village of the Malang district, which has become a tourist attraction at that time, different from 2 years ago, which was still not crowded. Based on the unity of the semantic paragraph of this section, listeners get an idea regarding the time of the narrator, the time setting, and the setting where the events are experienced by the narrator. The last part that the narrator brings up is the coda, which is also the narrator's reaction to the whole story. This section produces 6 propositions that interconnected in the relationship between communication unit as follows. Overall, the coda section forms a logical relationship reason-result and connects the semantic paragraph 278 to 284. This section begins with the proposition 278, which acts as a time of state, as proposition 279, which acts as the head, and forms propositional clusters. This propositional cluster of 278 to 279 explains that the narrator returns to her post after waking up. This propositional cluster becomes a concession for proposition 280, which acts as the counter-expectation. Proposition 280 shows the unexpected result of the narrator, namely that the story of her mystical experience has been spread from the concession back to her post after waking. On the other hand, proposition 281, which acts as a connective orienter berpikir, forms the propositional cluster with the proposition 282, which acts as content. This propositional cluster becomes a proposition that acts as conclusion to the propositional cluster of 278 to 280, which acts as a grounds. Thus, the narrator concludes that the story was spread by her male friends on the grounds that the story has already been spread. On the other hand, proposition 283, which acts as a head, forms propositional cluster with proposition 284, which acts as a state of time. This propositional cluster shows that the narrator is being asked by her postal friends while returning to the postal. This propositional cluster is at the same time the result of the 278 to 282 propositional cluster, which acts as a reason and form a semantic paragraph for the coda section. The narrator gets the result of being questioned by her postal friends when she returns to the post regarding the reason why her mystical experience has been spread, and the suspicion that her male friends have told it. Based on the analysis before, we conclude that the superstructure and macrostructure of Sasanapa's podcast discourse is one of the complex and the coherent podcast discourse. This podcast discourse has a similar superstructure to the narrative discourse, namely abstraction, orientation, complication, evaluation, results, and coda. However, some sections may consist of more than one section, such as the orientation section and the evaluation section, which are featured the most. The orientation section can be followed by the result section or vice versa. We suspect that this is due to the asynchronous nature of podcast discourse and the two complications that the narrator raises, which causes the narrator to detail and publish every detail of her narrator in order to make it easy for listener and to understand. Based on its macrostructure, this podcast discourse includes logical relationship, chronological addition, restatement explanation, non-restatement explanation, and orientation relationship. These 5 relationships are needed by the narrator to form a coherent, detailed, logical, and chronological discourse. We also conclude by the example of this podcast discourse that even in the state of the fear, someone is still able to tell the story of his or her mystical experience in a logical, detailed, and chronological manner. Mystical content such as Sasanapa KKN Malang podcast discourse is still favored by the public, including Indonesia, whose mindset has developed towards the Industrial Revolution 4.0, even 5.0. That can be seen from the number of the listeners and its fans, namely 496,073 listeners and the 6,879 fans as of July 27, 2021. We suspect that this is caused by several factors, such as storytelling style of the narrator, the content of the story, and the virality of a story. This research cannot be done without the references and the data source which cover in the section of credits. Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel if you want to see another presentation from the other researcher. See ya!